Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to part 2 of my favourite cosmetics from 2016. This part 2 is focusing mainly on two long-time favourite brands, Tom Ford and Chanel, and what I really liked from them in the last year. Tom Ford, I don't think had a brilliant year cosmetic-wise. We had the big launch of new quads as they got rid of some of the old ones and replaced with, I think, 5 new ones. I haven't got them all, along with the cream eyeshadows. And the cream eyeshadows were a real disappointment, a much more watery, less intense, less creamy formulation in smaller pots. Not nearly as good as the old ones. Big disappointment. And I wasn't overwhelmed by the quads either. Honeymoon was the favourite. Generally, it sold out. I wasn't that struck with it. I did get it eventually, not in the first tranche. My favourite probably of the new releases, and I do like it a lot, was this one, Last Dance, which has a couple of kind of khaki and a green, goldeny khaki and green, colours I like, although they're quite difficult to wear as eye colours. A real true yellowy cream, and this very beautiful blue glitter, which I do like as a touch of sparkle, not only in the evenings actually, very flattering for blue eyes. So I have found myself reaching for that one quite a lot, and it's a nice quality palette. And then I was more surprised by liking this one, Lavender Lust. I wore this a lot in the late winter, early spring. Just gave a very pretty, easy, cool eye. I actually used this Dior not so favourite Dior Show Colour and Contour, the cream end, as a base, which seems to work very well, or seemed to work very well with this eye. Just really very pretty, not too shimmery, not too bold colours. It wouldn't be for everyone because I think these lavender colours are quite difficult for some people to wear, but I do enjoy that one, and I have worn those two quite a bit. But otherwise, I was kind of uninspired by a lot of the Tom Ford releases. I didn't even get the Winter Soleil palettes. They sold out ridiculously quickly over here in the UK. And I tried to get them for quite a bit. And then I actually could have got them this last weekend in Holland. I was in Amsterdam and they had them available at the big department store there. But they also had the testers, and I really tested them out, and I was not impressed. I can't remember if it was the warm or the cool one, had two really glittery shades that were very transparent, really didn't work very well, even on someone as fair as me. And the other shades were very, very similar to existing ones in palettes I already had. So I was quite glad I hadn't shelled out, particularly sight unseen, as I would have done if I could have got them. And the Summer Soleil collection left me pretty cold. The new waterproof foundation, I haven't been using a lot. It's okay, but I don't think it's worth the money. I did love two of the lipsticks. This one a surprise because you may remember when I first reviewed it, this was from the Orchid collection. I wasn't that impressed with this one when I first got it because it didn't seem that pigmented. It was just a very colour, which it is. But I guess that's just me. I have found myself wearing it a lot. I try to preserve the TF, but you can see by my standards, this one's had quite a hammering. It's just such an easy, flattering, work-appropriate colour, and the formulation is so comfortable. So that one is Velvet Orchid, and I'm not sure you can still get that. That was a favourite. And very similar in a way of the Lips and Boys. There's a whole new release now over between Christmas and New Year, but this was an earlier new release. My favourite, I bought about 5, was this one, Drake. Doesn't look as warm, but I have worn it a lot. Kind of pinkier plum. Those are kind of my comfort colour range, and I love that one. So those were my Tom Ford picks. Chanel had a pretty good year, I think. Two nail varnishes. I love my nails. These are surprising picks for me from the new range. This was a nail gloss in the Rouge collection in the autumn, Rouge Radical. This is the one that looks nothing like it looks in the bottle, where it's kind of boring, cheap-looking gloss. It comes a stunning, bright, shiny, orangey red that lasts really, really well on the nails. I wore it non-stop in the late summer, early autumn. And this one is so not my usual colour zone. This is pink rubber, and I hate Barbie pinks normally. Baby pinks, really, rather than Barbie pinks. This is the texture on this one, which is a true matte. And I think it makes the colour much more flattering. Certainly for people of my skin tone. I have worn that quite a lot. So those were my two picks there. Chanel had a really good year, I think, on the quads. This was the Empreinte du Désert summer collection. I like to keep these in their boxes, and I just love this one. It looked gorgeous with the pattern on it. I have actually worn it quite a lot, particularly that one there, but just really beautiful, flattering, slightly lustrous but not too shimmery eye colours. Really, really beautiful, and that's definitely was a keeper. And then more controversially in the late summer, autumn was the Les Rouges collection, a matte quad from Chanel, very unusual, very, very wearable. Again, I haven't worn it as much as I mean to, because other things kind of came along at the same time that it was released. But even this unusual red is actually very, very wearable on the eyes, particularly if you're blue-eyed. It really makes your eyes pop. And rather than making you look ill, as some reddish tones can, actually makes the eyes look wide awake and healthy. So that was a real plus for me, because I'm not usually a great fan of the Chanel quads, but those two were beautiful. From the Christmas collection, although I like the Architectonic palette, I haven't included it because I don't think it's an overriding favourite, but I really like the Hyper Black cream eyeliner. Now, as I said at the time, I have dug into this quite a lot. I'm not an expert in gel liners. This is pretty much the first one I've bought for years, so it may be there are better products out there, but I really, really like the effect of this. I find it quite hard to wing with liquid liners, and the little brush that comes with this and this gel I find quite easy to use even with my poor eyesight and shaky hands. It gives that super black lining. Doesn't last brilliantly, but it's okay for the evening, so it has become a favourite for me. And then they released a whole lot of matte Rouge Allure velvets. I picked these two as favourites. I bought a lot of lipsticks at the tail end of the year, so none of them have been hugely used. But these two are two gorgeous reds. This is Rouge Charnel, a true red, which I love. They feel really nice on the lips. So even if you're afraid of mattes, these are good ones. And Rouge Feu, a slightly more orangey one. Again, flattering for pale skins, blue eyes. Super comfortable to wear. Lasts moderately well. The liquid lipstick that everyone raved about, the lip inks, as you know, I just didn't find them. I didn't find they delivered in the way they seemed to deliver for everyone else. They didn't last on me, and they took forever to dry. I don't know, something about my lips. But these Rouge Allure velvets I do love. There was a lot of good matte lipsticks released this year. I liked the Charlotte Tilbury ones as well. I've picked one of them here. This is Kidman's Kiss. A very kind of neutral pinky nude. bit like, I think it's Spanish pink, if you like the Tom Ford, not a matte, a satin. I found this much better than the Le Boutin range, but quite similar and of course much cheaper. I marginally prefer the Chanel mattes. They just feel a little bit more comfortable, but these are absolutely fine. And while we're on, well, let's finish with the lips. The other product that I got for the first time this year was the Yves Saint Laurent YSL. What are these called? They're the lip oils anyway. Somebody recommended this in a comment on here, and I really like the product. They just feel really nice on the lips. I prefer it to a lip balm, to be honest, or a lip gloss, and so I love those. And then finally, Charlotte Tilbury. I don't want to love this, and in some ways I don't love it. I thought it was overpriced. The pigmentation's quite poor. But it's the instant look in a palette, and it's just so useful if you travel. And it's all the products kind of there for a neutral eye, for a contour, for a highlight, and these teeny tiny cheap colours are quite difficult to use. It's very, very pale. I believe she has now brought out one for darker complexions, which again isn't super dark. But might be a bit better than this one. So it's odd to end this favourites on something that I have some misgivings about, because I don't think the quality is super of any of the products except the highlighter, which is very nice indeed. But it's just such a convenient item put together to do your face from largely one palette, apart from the lips and the mascara. So I have found myself reaching for it again and again, particularly when I've been travelling. So on that basis, here it is in the favourite cosmetics. So there we go. I hope to have some feedback from you if you had any particular favourites that I haven't mentioned. Guerlain hasn't made the cut at all this year. That's sad. What have you found that you loved in 2016? Which brands didn't make the cut for you, who usually do? And what are you looking forward to in 2017? I can't wait for the spring collections. Until again soon, bye for now.